Hello. So I'm going to talk about Quizlet and how it can be used, I think, really well for formative assessment. Um, so starting off, you normally think of Quizlet as like flashcards and study tools, but Quizlet actually has a lot of cool AI stuff that they come out recently with, and I think it would be really well to be used for formative assessment. So let's take a look at that. So here I am on the Quizlet home screen. I'm gonna go to my library. So this is on flashcard sets. I'm going to move over to what I think is very good for formative assessment, which is the practice tests. So you can see I made one for this example. Um, so these practice tests are made using AI. And so if you want to make one, you press the plus practice test and you can add files to this. And I think this is really cool because especially if you are a teacher that uses guided notes, if students all have a filled out guided notes file on their laptops, their Chromebooks, their iPads, whatever, they can upload it to this and use that file to create um, practice tests. So it does take a second to generate. So I did pre-generate one before I started this video. So let's go take a look at that. So here's the file I use. This is for my cell biology class that I take. Um, and it's just literally, you can see it's literally just notes. There's nothing like anything fancy about this that I have to do. It's simply just my notes. So this is it after it's been answered. But if you go, you can just click on it, back to your library, back to practice tests. Click on it. You can choose how many questions there are. If there's a timer, if not, you can do both multiple choice and written. I find that the multiple choice questions tend to work a little bit better. I think still a few things in their AI that they need to work out. But overall, I think it's great for formative assessment because as an instructor, you can all the students will have different questions, but they'll all be over the same topic. Um, so especially for formative assessment in that low stakes environment, and it is tempting for students to just look over at their neighbors and take what they want, take their answers. And so this is also like a way to prevent cheating because technically everyone has a different set of questions. So this is a test I did. I just pricked the first answer on all of them. I didn't actually do this. And I went through after I took this and I actually like went through and made sure all the answers make sense. And yes, they all do make sense. And it's all using language that is from my notes, which I think is good. Especially because in science, there's different language levels. Um, to certain things, and I think it's really important that we keep the language used on exams and assessments the same type of language that's used to discuss topics during class. So, and it just shows this and students, you can have students submit like screenshots of all the questions or just their score, or you can go look around it individually and kind of do it in an informal assessment way. But I think this is a really good way so that as an instructor, you don't have to take time to like make all these like tedious exams. Like you could have students do this for every day of like every week, whatever we cover that week, you're doing a little mini practice exam on the Quizlet AI generated exam thing. And I just think this is a really good way. That's not super time consuming to have well-written multiple choice questions because they all do, um, to an extent, they are good questions. And I just think this was a very helpful and interesting and useful tool. And I think especially going into the future, AI is definitely something that we as teachers need to incorporate a lot into our classroom. So having just an AI created assessment is something super interesting. I, however, would not recommend this for summative assessments due to the fact that there is not really a way for teachers to see exactly what students are going wrong other than like the screenshotting things. And there's also the students can take it multiple times. Um, so I would mostly recommend this just for a formative assessment for how it is right now. Quizlet could come up with an update in the future, but I think this is really great and I plan on trying to use this in my classroom eventually. So thank you. Oh, wait, we're on stop video. Wait, stop recording.